Hello and welcome. Can somebody give me a sound check? Okay, Deborah, I see you want to volunteer, and so does Gloria. Well, we'll see what's going on. You can hear me well? That's great. I'm Sherry Edwards from the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology and Sound Health, and this is a first of a series that we're going to be doing. It looks like weekly on Thursday evenings, but we have a special class that is coming up on the 10th, and we're going to be doing vocal analysis using nano voice and also in voice. So if any of you would like to join that, we can look at that in a minute. Here at the Institute, we put a microphone in front of your face. Take a 30-second sample of your voice and then look at what those frequencies are. Your voice has frequencies just like musical notes, like 440 cycles per second is a note of A. So we break your voice down into all of these different notes and frequencies, and through the last 30 years, we have amassed a great big database that tells us, okay, these are the people's voice prints that had health problems like heart attack or teeth problems. And so we can look at your vocal print when it comes in and see how it matches up with everyone else. For all of you that registered, you've now been put into a pot, and we're going to draw out some names for some free software. And there goes the timer, and it's behind everything else. And I don't know how to get to it. There it is. We'll cut that out because we are going to record this so that you can have copies and use it as part of your own marketing. So each week we will be providing you a demo and for some of you software, and for some of you the ability to purchase the software or know how to go use it online. So if you're interested in setting up a bioacoustic community in your geographic location, let us know, because if we do this once a week, you'll have a software once a week that you can work with. And we'd love it if you would tell us what you would like. Some people want PTSD, some people want teeth, some people want corona. So if you'll let us know what you'd like, and you can just write to me at sherryedwards@gmail.com, we will be able to put together a weekly program for you. Hopefully, all of you can go to the portal, that's our sponsor this evening, and sign up. I think the first 15 days are free, and then it's $20 a month after that, which is, it's nothing. $20 a month to have access to all of this information that we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of people that are following our footsteps in what we are doing, but we are leading the way in getting the information to the public. We have a sound health portal, a workstation for the public that you can go on and take your vocal prints, send your clients there and take their vocal prints for free. Right now we have coronavirus up. That's a very special one. All the things that we found with the coronavirus, the attack on the mitochondrial DNA, which is a part of allergy stuff, stuff with iron and the body's use of iron and hemochromatosis, and what's going on with the attack of the body with different minerals, iron and germanium and other things that keep you alive and healthy. So we want to provide you the tools and the solutions so that you can go in every day and blah, 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 blah. And it'll tell you, well, you need zinc today, or the frequency equivalent of zinc is in your vocal print today. There is a class next week, I think it's the 7th and 8th. We'll be talking about that a little bit and how you can set up your business, because there is total discontent in the United States right now because of this idea of who has the most money, who's entitled to the most money. Why are the biggest capitalism allowed to set on all this money and us little people don't even have bread to eat? Well, there's compassionate capitalism, and that's for the little people who want to make a difference in their communities. They put their money back into their community, back into their local stores that are serving the people. And then there's callous capitalism. I may get in trouble, but I want to say people like Google and all these people who are taking your money but trying to suppress you at the same time. What we do here at the home office at the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology is that we give away most of what we make. We give away softwares, we give away classes, so that you guys can be compassionate capitalists for the people who may have some kind of wellness issue in your community. It made me mad when I heard the debates and the people said the only way we're going to balance the budget is to take medications away from the old people. We're going to have to ration medication based on whether or not you're a good person or have enough money. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it made me mad. So I decided that we would go looking at medications and how the big pharma was making their money, and we would turn that over to the public. So that's where we are at the moment. Vocal profiling can be used to reveal the mathematical codes hidden within your voice. And we've taken 30 years to put a database together so that we know what is happening most of the time. And if we don't, then we'll find out. I've got a very hard case on my hands right now. My only clue is that they have blue fingernails. And I'm looking into hypoxia, and I found genes that help control oxygenation, which hypoxia is a lack of oxygenation. But it's taken me about 21 hours just to dig through all the medical literature. But when I get finished, I will have something that I can turn over to you, the public, so that you get blue fingernails and you can look it up and see what's going on. So we're trying to bring back what I think is an ancient mystery. One of our first articles is frequency an ancient mystery, or I can't think of the name. Is frequency a new medicine or an ancient mystery revealed? I think all of us could do this. We just forgot. And I just wrote an update for a chapter in a book called The Business of Disease by Sonia Barrett. And she talks about how greed has taken over, and that's why people are so unhappy that they're just being raped in their health care, in how we are being taken care of, and she wants it to be different. And my chapter is all about what we forgot to remember, what we can really do with our own voice, with our own ears, and how our body really is prepared to heal itself if we listen. And we want to turn all of that over to you. We'll be doing some of that on the Saturday course on the 10th, which is all about nano voice and personality. And we've been doing a lot on the political scene recently, and some things that are pretty terrifying are going on, and we're going to be able to release some of that. I don't want to get exterminated for what I know. I do appreciate all of you, especially Robert Fay, who have given me secret information that we checked out, and it's pretty outstanding. And I am going to release that very soon. But he gave me information I wouldn't even thought to look at. So I really appreciate all of your input. I do see people with their hands up and questions. I don't have the slightest idea what to do with that. There is a question board that is up. I don't know how you guys on your side access it, but you can put questions in there. I don't know how, when you have your hand up, how to go about getting to you, or put it in the chat, because I can see the chat. What this video is here is one of the early ones called Energy Medicine. There's been 12 different documents about what we do from early on. And what we found in these 30 years is that, bioacoustically speaking, persons with similar wellness issues produce similar, if not identical, vocal anomalies. And if we already given people frequencies that help their body back off those anomalies, those bad things, those unbalanced things, then we can use it on the next person. Like we know the sounds put a heart into rhythm and to heal a broken bone. And boy, there's a lot of them. Get rid of gout. The biggest one we're working on right now is stem cells, because stem cells is of importance to a lot of people. So we've done several studies and several classes. We're going to be doing more on stem cells, because I think if we get to the root, the stem cells, how the body rebuilds itself, we'll be able to give you the tools, but will create problems at the same time. If we create the tools to keep everybody healthy, what's going to happen to the population? We're going to have to jump to other planets, and we're ready for that too. So we just need to pull people together and get on with it. Tonight we're going to be doing, by request, allergies, because a lot of it's coming up right now. We have getting rid of allergies, several of them. Say goodbye to allergies. And the other one that we've just put out in the last few months is hives. And we're going to be talking about mast cells, M-A-S-T cells, and that's in the hive database. We've been able to help a lot of people turn around skin itching. And right now, there's a lot of people out who have discoloration in their skin because of this attack on our iron, and we've been able to help people get rid of that by helping them look at their histamine. And that's in the mast cell program. So we look at a lot of different things, and we put them on our Sound Health portal. That's the online workstation where you can go in, go to services, and there's 5 or 6 databases there. We change them out each month, or try to, based on what people want. And you can have your voice done there online for free, and they will send you a written out report. Now, you may not know what that means, or you need interpretation. And if that's the case, please get in touch with us here at the center, and we'll try to assign somebody with you. For this bioacoustic center in every community, we're going to try to deal with nutrition, aging, toxicity, inflammation, musculoskeletal issues, neurological, and metabolic. We don't know which to go first. We're thinking about doing metabolic next, because that gives you information on why you have fat around the middle, and it tells us where that is coming from. I'm going to take a drink here. I felt myself getting the hiccups. But this is a software that we want to share with you. And when you take that class Thursday and Friday, the 2-day, and it's online for real, and it's recorded, so you can take it a lot of different ways, you also get nutrition and muscle softwares to use. in your new center. So on that 2-day class on the 8th and 9th that we have pre-recorded and ready for you, you can take it anytime. The software you get for 30 days, just to munch around and kind of see how you like it. And you get to go on the portal for 15 days and learn how to use some of these. It's not an intense course. Usually it just shows you which button to push and prepares you for the next step. We like the idea that we want to create a new reality, that you don't have to go to the doctor for every little thing, that you can practice self-health. Now, a lot of people don't like that idea that you get to self-prescribe and whatever, but that's what we're trying to teach, because we know that whoever controls this technology controls your health and your quality of life on this planet and beyond. And we want that person who has the dominion over your health to be you. Any of you familiar with the Borg on Star Trek? Well, I feel like that's kind of where we are, that we are being run by other people. You can have this medication, but not that. You can do this, but not that. You know, we have herbs, we have oils. I'm sitting here using eucalyptus oil right now, that from our ancient literature and what's been passed down, we know what works. Somehow we're awed by all this new stuff, by technology, but it's being rationed to us. And I'd really like to have people be able to take care of themselves. So in these classes, we're going to give you a textbook. The beginning one is shorter. It's the time domain nano voice one. And there's one that's a little larger, frequency domain, that you get with the 2-day class. And then there's a large one that you get with the research class. We also help provide marketing materials. This is one of the miracles of non-medicine. It's things that we have done, like be able to warn people that irregular heart is there or a stroke is on its way, or to be able to look at how to help the body renew its parts. There's a lot of the doctors that are working with us, and we're working with the mathematics of this Templar cross, and it's helping people restore their body. You know, we don't heal. The body heals itself. We just sort of give it the information that it needs. Think of the brain as a central processing unit of your computer. It has frequencies, and we don't know how those are created, but then it sends that over a neural network all over the place to lift your foot or blink your eye or whatever. We've just tapped in to some of that math, and so you'll be able to see some of the results. Feel free to make copies of this and send it to whoever, because some of the muscle things that we've done is just absolutely outstanding. One of it is to grow back or help the body grow back the cornea of the eye. That's pretty spectacular, I think. And this is the case of Bob Bethel. He's an attorney and an engineer. And this is the local article about him. He had a motorcycle accident and ripped off his lower leg, and we were able to help him accept muscles from his back that they put in his leg to see if it would take the part of it, because it totally ripped the muscle off it. And he said he could look over and see it laying there in a pile. Interesting story. This is on soundhealthoptions.com. This is something you can do also when you get your muscle software and helping people do this. We look at what's going on in the voice, we evaluate it, then we decide what to do with it, and then give people back the frequencies they need to heal themselves. This is some of the things from the portal. And this is looking at biomarkers or root cause of why something happens. We're really good with muscles. We have to dig a little deeper for any kind of biochemistry. So this one is about diabetes. It takes your vocal print. It looks at all 250, 300 databases that we have, and it tells us why you have that issue. In this, you can see pancreas is yellow, and it's 41 hits. That's a lot. But then you look down here in fatty liver, and there's 206 hits. This means this type of diabetes is because they can't deal with carbohydrates, not necessarily insulin itself, but maybe insulin resistance from inflammation. So we can take your voice apart and look at where everything came from. In this case, there's things on this round wheel there's too much of, and if we're live on the portal, you can hit the little dot and it'll tell you what it is. Not hard to learn, just time consuming. And we want you to be able to have all the information to do it to the absolute best of your ability. We have written a catalog that tells you all of the classes and what they are, what they're built for, from the very beginning that we're talking about now to the master's course, and that's for doctors who just want to push a button and get the answers. The 5-day is for people who, what does this answer mean? Where did this come from? How did I do this? That's probably the most difficult class, and we just had a very good class. I think we limit that to about 10 at a time so we can do it really well. The other part of that is we have tutorials. Everything that goes on. So if you don't want to sit in class, jump on these tutorials, and they are on the portal under, I think, support. And there's probably good 50 tutorials that tells you how to do each layer from the beginning apprentice guest to the highest level technician, which is all of the matrix information that we've been able to put together with numbers so that we can see 16 layers deep into what's going on in the body and how the body uses frequencies to run the whole system. We do this in 2 different ways. One is time domain. We'll be doing that tonight with allergies. You can also do allergies. This bottom one's time domain. And on that Saturday course, we're going to teach people how to use this little nano voice to see what you're allergic to, or what person even. The frequency domain is actual frequencies, 20.21, but the bottom one is just notes. The note of E is this range. The note of F is this range, and you can get a pretty good idea of what disturbs people's notes or frequencies, like making sour notes in a song. We do all different kinds of things with the little note one, like PTSD. We're able to see what notes people don't have, what they do have, and so we can back off or help back off PTSD. We found 8 commonalities with PTSD. The first 4 are the urgent ones: calcium, niacin, linolenic acid, and zinc. And those are the people who don't know something's wrong. They're just kind of walking around in oblivion. The second layer, and I always forget one of these: choline, progesterone, magnesium. And see, there it's gone. But there are some articles. So we look at those 8 things, because PTSD a lot of times is just the body shutting down and not really using its resources. So we do a wide range of classes. We do this because we know that from the vocal print, which is a holographic representation of everything that happens to you, the body can self-diagnose and reorganize. If that didn't happen, you would never heal a cut. The body has to recognize, oh, there's a cut there. Then it sends in calcium as sort of the sergeant that makes everything happen, and then build a scaffold, and you can see how the body begins to seal up the cut. We were born with that ability, but we forgot somehow. And one of the things that happens when you don't have all the pieces that work together, your body says it's going to create an allergy. And that's a symptom that tells you something's wrong, something's left out. We want more of this, or we're going to cause an inflammation and a snotty nose. One of the biggies we found, this article we wrote several years ago, a study finding the link between GMOs and the current healthcare crisis. And there's so much more to that, especially since we just did Corona. We found that GMOs, glyphosate, Roundup especially, is being used as a weed killer right before harvest, and that the glyphosate is causing the outside covering of your cells to be very open to allergies, very open to pathogens, very open to not using the nutrients in the way they should. And so we put all of that in that coronavirus, about 10 different softwares combined in that coronavirus, from the inside of your cell and how you use oxygen, how you use iron, how your body uses balanced glutathione, cysteine. It is one of the first things I put anyone through. And you can send any of your clients there to have this done, but send the vocal print to you, and then you can discuss it. In this time of don't touch anybody, don't look at them, don't breathe on them, don't go in their house, you can do most of this from online with your people and really give them information and support their dietary needs. Although I'm not allowed to tell you that. We're only allowed to gather data. We're not allowed to give any kind of advice. So we took all this to the NIH and the FDA, and they said, go away, this is not medical. I asked if they'd put that in writing, and they wouldn't, but they have now said this is a form of integrative medicine. We're using sound, not as music, but sound as that you hear. We're using the voice to look at what's inside the body, and then giving you sound through your skin or your ears. You can do the same with color to see what's really going on holistically in the body. So allergies, most of the time they just cover it up with antihistamines and prednisone and whatever. We go down to the root cause, and that's what we'd like to teach you, share with you in the allergies classes that we've developed over the years. You can go to Vimeo, Vimeo.com, and look under Sherry Edwards, Sherry with an A, and you can see some of our demonstrations. But we just put up one that said, immunizations, are you ready? And it was about herbs and natural things to help your body become more resistant to any kind of problem. They took it down. They refused to allow it to be up because they said that's against their policy. What policy? They wouldn't tell us. But most of it we got online. Some of it we got from our own practice. But they didn't like it that we were telling people how to get well without medicine. So you're now with a great group who's just going around them. We're going to create our own protocols of bioacoustics, vocal profiling. Look at all the people that have come after us. We put out Corona, we wrote a song for it. A few days later, Carnegie Mellon came out with a song for it. except they charge. And MIT was the other one, and you have to sign up or pay something. Last time I tried to look at it, they made me jump through so many hoops. I just gave up. We give ours away for free under Jill Matson. You can find the link on our site. It's a whole series, and we've just added 2 or 3 more things to it. We have been using another song to look at pneumonia and nasal problems, sinus problems. It's called Leciel, L-E-C-I-E-L, no, C-E-I-L. It's on our site. The 8-minute version is free. It was done by James Marshall, who's a musician and played on TV and A Few Good Men and all that. He now writes music for videos and movies. He wrote it for us because we helped save his life. And so we, in turn, are giving it away to people. I've had somebody come up to me and say, if this is any good, why are you giving it away? Well, I really couldn't answer that. Except I think people are really getting, well, screwed. And they're not getting the right information. People who withhold information from you or tell you some lie, they're not the good guys. And people who give it away free are not the bad guys. So that's one of the things that people have knocked us about. We don't do it right. We don't charge enough money. So from our sources and looking at allergies, these are some of the things in that computer program that we look for and test you or test your voice with. Lack of methylation. Methylation means if you bring something in, what does your body do with it? Is it able to digest it? So lack of proper digestions of proteins, like people who have gout can't digest proteins very well. Genetic proteins, indican D, inflammation, immunizations, they may knock this one off, pollution, toxins, chemtrails, stress, and of course, histamines. The higher your histamine, the higher your reaction because it makes your nerves raw. So this is a methylation map that you can also have done on the portal. A lot of the times when this methylation goes, the body doesn't have enough energy at a cellular level, and it gives itself cancer, which is like it's a big dumping ground, and that's rotting garbage, and so the body just gives up. How you detox, how you use energy, how you replete your DNA, and especially how you use methionine and glutathione for detoxing. Those are incredibly important. And there's a lot of things that really mess up your sulfur, and the sulfur is one of the cellular defenders. So you want to get your sulfur in a really good balance. This is some of the allergy things that happen. Allergic rhinitis used to be I could eat something sugary and my nose would swell up. You could see it as I was sitting at the table. So it was attacking the inside of my nose tissues. It was the note of D and E that was causing that allergy, a lack of oxygen. Asthma is the same thing. What we're looking at, allergy versus sensitivity. Allergy makes you really sick and you pass out. Sensitivity, your nose swells up. So IgG, immunoglobulin G, and immunoglobulin E. E is almost an instant allergy response, like peanuts or shellfish or something. And the IgG, and it's all in the database, that happens in about 4 hours as we look at this. Mast cells. This is one of the things that causes inflammation at the cellular level. And they're all in the database. And here's just some restoration of healthy biomarkers. So you can go to systemicenzymesupport.org and look up some of these to see if you fit. C-reactive protein tells us how much inflammation you have, and that's all related to prostaglandins and things that cause your joints to ache and you to itch and your skin to peel. And so all of these things we have put in the database for you, because inflammation is probably the first start of an allergy. We also look at the mast cells and the reaction. The mast cells are your protectors, but they don't always have enough information to do a complete job. Like if you have a leaky gut and the stuff leaks through your intestines into your stomach cavity, your mast cells cannot keep up. So they try to do the job, but they get tired, they get old, and there's not enough of them. I found an enzyme that will take care of part of this called wobenzyme. Now use the one from Germany, because the one made in America is a dud. Shouldn't have said it that harshly. It's just not as potent. So wobenzyme. So make sure it's the one from Germany. Mast cells are in the Hive database. Conjunctivitis in the eyes, pink eye, garbage in your eye. These are all different kinds of things. Bronchitis, cold, flu, I think, is even a kind of allergy kind of thing. Dermatitis. When you really get a good dose of what you're allergic to, they have to give you epinephrine. And we figured out the frequency for epinephrine, so we can give that to you. We've done it with peanuts and walnuts and 409. Some lady was very allergic to 409. She was an hour from the hospital. We were next door. She came to us. We put on the frequency and brought her out of it. So allergies look like they can be very controlled with giving your body, your brain, the frequency it needs to fix the problem. This is the mast cells. They are known to cause severe allergies, unexplained or difficult to treat symptoms. And I think that's when they just get overloaded. They are regulators of your immune system. And that, a look at your mast cells are all in hives. Mast cells release the histamine, and you just get overloaded. You can ameliorate histamine with methionine. And we have a green sheet that we give you that tell you all of those interrelationships. So you can ask for it, but we certainly give it to you in class. So the good of mast cells is they are your protector. They can go anywhere in the body. They release chemicals that cause alarms, but you can also put that back in order with the methionine. They have a point of no more. You do something about this because we're tired of dealing with it. They've dealt with it so far, and you didn't pay any attention to all those symptoms, so we're just going to make you real sick. Here's some other things that mast cells do. Have traditionally been viewed as effector cells of allergic reactions. So watching your mast cells and how they're working is a really important part. So if you're going to specialize in allergy, be sure to get hives too. Also, there's some things about allergies in autism. There's some in PREVAC, which is pre-vaccination risk factor. So there is a bundle for allergies that you can look at. And instead of buying or renting one program at a time, you can rent them as a bundle if that's what you're going to specialize in. Yes, there's absolutely continued research. We have been able to use whole brain formulas for mast cells, not a left or a right like we teach in the beginning class, but whole brain formulas are much more conducive to setting your body back in balance. Somebody asked the question, I don't know the answer. And the question was, are there going to be this PowerPoint available? I do not know. I do not know if they're going to edit it and put it out, but I certainly will try to get them to do that. Yes, we have been in touch with Mike Adams on Brighton and are looking forward to working with him. Yes, we don't know how, but we've been able to help people regenerate teeth, but not enough that we have an absolute. We do have a teeth integrity program that also has gum and tongue and everything going on with what's in your mouth, all the bacteria, but we don't really know absolutely what will regrow teeth. We've only done it 2 or 3 times, and we look at those data sets and we can't find the commonality. One of the things that we use for rhinitis and that kind of thing is grapefruit seed extract. And the kind that's most potent that the FDA went after is Nutrabiotic. It's a little more expensive, but it will really help with nose and ears and throat stuff. They have ear drops, they have nose spray, they have drops that you can put on a cut, even a recluse spider bite. We used that once, and it worked. Don't try to eat the drops. They taste really bad and make your mouth all puckery. Ugh. So there's pills you can swallow. And they don't tell you how many. The FDA won't let them. So you might start with 1 or 2. And when you get too many, you'll get diarrhea, because that's really the die-off from the critters that aren't supposed to be in there. I keep that in a medicine cabinet. I give it to everybody who works here because it just keeps us from getting all the grunge that's going around everywhere. The other thing we use is salt lamps. They're chunks of salt. I don't have a reference for that. Maybe one of you do. Chunks of salt in a lamp with a bulb. It heats up the rock and it puts salt in the air, which kills the bad guys. Pardon me. Anaphylaxis, your throat closes off. So that's where we use the EpiPen. Really is life-threatening. In schools, every school must have an EpiPen and they must replace it every so many weeks. We have the EpiPen, or it's not a pen, it's a sound, and we've used it and it works. But until we run it through the FDA, they won't allow it in the schools. And since we can't tell the FDA how it works, we can't prove how it works, they won't even talk to us about giving it any kind of FDA approval. I cannot see taking 20 people, 100 people, and give them what they're allergic to and let them die or get really sick without and keep the sounds from them. You know, some chiropractor came in here. You said you have this sound that'll help heal bones in record time. Yes, we do. And it'll not only set a sound too. He said, we're going to take 1,000 mice and we're going to break their legs and we're going to give half of them the sound and half of them not the sound. I said, you may do that, but I'm not willing to hurt an animal like that just to get a test when I already know it works. And one of the things that makes me the maddest, and I don't often get mad, for people who come in here and say, prove it to me. I've been proving it for 30 years. Here's all these case studies. Read them, talk to the people, but don't come in here and say, prove this to me. I wouldn't have been sharing with it with other people had I not thought that it works. We had a big funder near Washington, D.C., promised us millions if I would come in and take 3 people and tell them what they had. Well, it ended up being 11 people. They turned around and didn't even talk to us. So they got everybody analyzed except one who had some kind of something we didn't have a database for. But all the rest of them were right. But they were just taking advantage. So that ticks me off. Look at the data before you ask me to repeat it. So when this gets really bad, it gets into rheumatoid arthritis, long-term multiple sclerosis, who we turned around already. So mainly we want to look at the mast cells and what's happening. And we have immune rise, which is another one that says autoimmune. And we've added a lot to that within the last couple of months because we had some people really coming down. Their immune system was attacked by an antibiotic that the dentist gave him, Flagyl. It really caused a hit on their immune system. So we learn from every client. And yes, it also causes endometriosis, which is a bunch of extra stuff growing in your abdominal cavity, in your lower bowel. It's a C sharp that's causing it, and mainly it's inflammation. Boy, I think this one is out of order. Oh, triggers for reactions: perfumes, odors, bee stings, foods, shellfish, and on and on. Early recognition of stress in the mast cells is really where you need to start. With hives and methylation, the Krebs cycle, I should write it up what people should start with if they want to do this in their practice. This is a green sheet I was telling you about, where if you look at something like vitamin D, it must be taken with calcium, phosphorus. This is a little sleuthing cheat sheet that helps people look at something that's too high that their body may not be using. So if you win tonight, the software is Say Goodbye to Allergies. Also, you'll have to have an abacus with it, so we'll give you that too. We'll pull your name out of the hat for the people who have been here. And what time is it? Wow, I didn't know I talked so long. So we're going to go back and look at who was the first one. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the video. Gloria. Gloria has agreed to be a volunteer. So let's go to something called the abacus and Audacity. Those are the two things that you'll need. You can download them from our database when you sign up from class. Audacity is free. Don't fall for all this, oh, give me this and give me that and add this. Just get the freest, cheapest one for your computer. Now, these softwares only work on PC. If you're going to work on Mac, then work on the portal. So we're kind of going to do two things. You can go on the portal and it'll say, give us a vocal print. Gloria, I'm going to try to find. Okay, okay, it doesn't look like I can unmute her mic. I'll make you a panelist. And then you can go and, well, unmute your mic that way. Okay, Gloria, you should be able to unmute your own mic. You see the little red microphone by your name? You can click on that and unmute yourself. It says you are self-muted. Find your name under staff and unmute. Gloria, can you talk to me? Okay, Gloria, I am going to all organizers, panelists. Gloria, I'm going to send you a message with a phone number. Since you can't open your mic, call this phone number, and it's the number to the studio. And the last time I gave it out, I got several phone calls from people who wanted to sell me insurance for my car. So people, please don't give this number out if you happen to see it. Gloria, can you see the phone number? It's in the chat, especially to you, private. I'm going to be using a Polycom voice station. It's very faithful. Now, cell phones are not faithful. They're approximations. And Gloria, if you can't call me in a few minutes, I'm going to ask for another volunteer. Okay, can't have a lot of dead space here. So I'll put the phone number out to everybody, I guess. Need a volunteer. Christina. Oh, okay. Gloria, is that you?
Yes, it is. Hi.
Okay, turn your sound off on your computer. Oh, we'll all go nuts hearing ourselves twice.
Okay, let me see. How do I do that?
Down the bottom, you should have a little thing that looks like a megahorn. And you just turn your mic off.
Okay, am I off now?
Oh, yes, thank God. I was starting to stutter.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
this is Audacity that you guys download and just follow the directions. Go to that BioAcoustic Basics book and it gives you pictures. If you need directions on sending a vocal print, I'll have them send that to you. It's up on our site, and it's pictures and everything. So we need you to go to Edit and to Preferences.
Now, am I supposed to be doing this?
No. I'm just giving that to people who want to do it. We're going to go to Quality. We want to have 32,000 16-bit. And this is all in the book with pictures. That'll be good enough for right now. And we want to look at mono. Okay, I'm going to hit this red dot here, and you'll see sound coming up. This is the timer. Talk to 30 seconds about your allergies or what you want us to look at. You ready?
Okay.
Go.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have sinus issues, and it actually hurts up in my nose. I have been doing the neti pot, and I've been putting salt and hydrogen peroxide in the neti pot. I've also been putting some hydrogen peroxide in my ears. I have taken Allegra, and I've used Flonase. I also have saline drops, and I have an Immunicor type, it's an immune spray for my nose, but it really hurts a lot. And I
Got it. Tell me what you also have. I cut the thing off.
I also have, I think, fibromyalgia and really bad TMJ, where it really hurts in the facial muscle. So okay. I have that also.
Okay, we have tone boxes for fibromyalgia. We'll let you test it out. Okay, we can go listen to this anywhere. And when you get these from your clients, you want to make sure that they don't have cat meows or door slams. You want to make sure they have 32 hertz 16-bit mono. We have a paper for you. We'll teach you this in class also. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to export it. Don't save it. It'll save us it wrong all the time. So we're going to put Gloria Sinus. Remember that because I sometimes lose these files. Okay, now we need to open the website. It's up here. Okay, it is too big for what I'm trying to do here. Cut it down a little bit so I can see. We want to go to the little 3 hamburger and we have absolute pictures every step that you can look at here. And we want to do a new file. Clients. Oh, I ran out of time here. I have to come in again. You can put on here the timeout stuff. So I was doing something on mine. So here's new. There's much more over here. I just wanted to make this big enough so that you could see it online. But here's the other part that I have on a different monitor, just so it's big enough for you guys to see. So new, and this takes the longest than anything. Gloria, on.
Yes.
That was me talking. So
Okay, I thought you were addressing me here.
now just go ahead and hang up and turn your computer back on.
Okay.
When's your birthday before you hang up?
February 13th of 1943.
Okay, go ahead and hang up and listen from there or put questions in from there. Okay, a nice part is this bottom that you can go in and check everything like allergies or whatever, and the computer will help you pick out what you need. So this, and we usually put where they're from. I don't know that. This is just to pull back data back out. Email, I don't want to do that because it's public. So we just say save and continue. And we want to bring in a new voice file. And we put this on Waves Online, Gloria and Sinus. It brought it in. Lots of stuff we could do here. It looks like we're going to go a little over, if none of you mind. If you do, you can get the recording. This takes you through everything we have, all the databases, and we can get to the summary, and it tells us you need carotenoids. Now, those are things that are very colorful, I think, like in squash and peppers. I'm not sure, somebody look it up. But it tells us 4.8%. It tells us what's going on overall. We can cancel that or print it. And we can look at bio bundles. And we're going to put in allergy. Now this is another way to look at what is causing the allergy. The other looked at everything to see what was going on. And your allergies, 0.7, just straight allergies. Digestion, 1.7. Prevac, 1.2. Seizure perspectives, 2.1. So we should look at all of those. Let's look at what is the digestion problem. So it should show up as yellow. Propionic acid, which I do not know what it is. Platelet-derived growth factor, those are all too low. They're in the center of the wheel. High, ghrelin. That's a stomach thing, and it deals with digestion and fat metabolism. So ghrelin is too high. And NOD 2 is too high. I don't know what that is, but we can see if we can look it up. NOD2. I'm pretty sure it's not there. Let's look at ghrelin. GHRELIN. This should look it up for us and tell us what it is. And I've punched the wrong button somewhere. Oh, here it comes up. So this is from HyperHealth, and it'll tell us what happens with this. It's a hormone, it's a carbohydrate, where it comes from, and X can do this. May increase craving for alcohol, which is also a craving for carbohydrates. So it has its own references built in. You can also take it online and look at it. I don't know what it does with allergies, but that's what I would look at. GHRELIN and allergy. Stimulates release. I don't see anything that says, well, it's an inflammation marker. We'd have to go back and look at some more about what is this relationship with ghrelin and allergies. One possibility is that obesity and allergies share common risk factors. So we can look at some of these, put them in chat, and dig down and do some sleuthing. And I put that in the chat to her. But a lot of this is about sleuthing and what's going on with it. We can also almost immediately, I want to save and continue, and then pull points. So I want a new evaluation. Instead of getting down to that nitty-gritty of what made it happen, let's pull points and look at the spots in your chart that say there's a problem. This gray grid that comes up says that's all normal. This is the issue. The more gray you see, the more you need to look at what's above it or below it, and that's usually your root cause. There is some metabolism issues, but most of these issues are coming in right here. So let's save and continue. Let's look at allergies. What else has sinus in it? Breathing stuff has sinus in it. So let's look at hives. Let's look at allergy. So the computer program automatically gives you these. You have 22 hits in allergies and 5 in hives. So we can go look at those and see what the computer tells us by looking at the file that it prints out. I hit OK, and it should have taken me. I want to go over here too, because I'm so curious about what's going on here. So if we look at all of the different databases, and here they are, it tells me how many hits you have in each database. 341 in NSYNC, and that's all about metabolism and digestion. Autism 282, and that's where you're going to get all that mitochondrial DNA and methylation. Anything above 50 you should look at. And we could go down here and check 3 or 4 and see what happens. 92 in co-fetters. I don't see anything allergies up front. We had a fatty liver go on in 1. You can choose, what you need to choose, but let's go back. That was my curiosity. Okay, when we go up here to the little printer, evaluation report with vocal profile. This is what you give your client. And you can save it. I get 4 pages, and let's save those 4 pages so we can send them to her. This is her instructions in the first page. And it has a ranking here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Asthma is saying this GLYM 1-3 is the problem. I can't get to it. GLY. That might be a typo. I think they're talking about maybe glycine. We'll have to go back and look further. So that's ranking number 1. So whatever this GLYM. Anybody else know what that is? It's on with us? I've just never heard of it. We can also go to the next page here and look at it here. We can just say, give us a printout of it. Associated with soy allergy protein. I will go look it up. There's their histamine N-methyltransferase, that gene. If it isn't up, there's going to be many more allergies. So we need to kick that gene into working and doing something. That's what we always look for. This is what actually causes the outbreak of allergies, whether inside or out. Vitamin E is low. You can go look that up, what it deals with in connection with allergies. I'll make this so I can send it to you right after we get off the air. So here's your evaluation. This is what it actually looks like when they send it to you. This is a similar kind of thing that they'll send you when you go in to have your free vocal print done right on the portal. We don't do free vocal prints here, but the portal certainly does. Quercetin is really important for allergies, and yours is high. This is water soluble, so it's not likely that it's really high. It's likely that it doesn't have its component parts. Zinc low, that'll keep you active scientitis allergies. And look at how many times it's low. It's low and it's high. So it's low in one system and high in another. So we just need to straighten that up. But if you'll send me your email right after this, I'll save this and get it to you tomorrow. So we can close that. We can go look at what's yellow here. We have these color coded by priority. Yellow is the worst priority, and this is what's so low that we need to bring up. And I'll go look and see what it is and how it relates to allergies. Because in some of this, I have to look it up too. Now, I wouldn't consider the histamine because that's a secondary and it's a long way away. It's 11 points away. If this was a 27, then I would include it with the most relevant. But these secondaries here, yes, we can do that, but it's not your primary issue. And I just don't know what this protein would be causing. May cause headaches, may lead to anaphylaxis. Soy allergy protein. Do you eat soy at all? Well, it's low, so it wouldn't be from eating any kind of soy. But there's many more things that we can do and do a dog and pony show about what is going on with all of this. We will be doing that 2-day course next week, 7th and 8th, if you want to sign up. And even if you sign up and don't come to class, you'll still be getting your software. So that's enough to Let me show that. And we have that 2-day course recorded, so you can get it and just ask Jesse to send you a copy. You can do that at home, but if you want to attend the class live, you are very welcome to. And if you want to set up a bioacoustic community, we'll do our best to help you with publicity and radio shows in your community and helping you get in touch with the doctors who do alternative healing. I'm going back over to questions because I didn't even look. I don't know. GLYM is a system or process by which cerebral spinal fluid moves through channels formed by glial, cleansing the brain of harmful waste. Thank you. Stem cells, yes, we will be looking. You can look at any of these and what are your stem cells and telomeres doing? What's your heart doing? You can upload the video to Bright. Yes, we'll do that. Thank you, Robert. Our hope is to put the power in your hands. She doesn't eat soy. She does take quercetin and zinc, but we need to work on getting both of those to actually work in your system. So we can put in the numbers and see what's holding up that it's not doing what it ought to do. I hope I have intrigued you by what we can do. I hope you join us on the Thursday and Friday class, or at least ask for the download. Create a group in your area and we'll help you train them, and you'll be able to help people have dominion over their own health. What else is important? Truth is important. That's why we're doing that class on the 10th, so you can see who's lying to you or who's telling you the truth. And then there'll be a place for people to come to the local bioacoustic guru and see what's going on around, see what's coming out. I don't know who wrote that they're looking forward to the video. I don't know how quick this video will go up. There was a lot of things I didn't cover because it was just getting too late and I wanted to make sure we had a demo. But I found something that I really like, and I found this in a Yogananda book. Let me get to the bottom where it is. This was on page 661, and Yogananda died, I think, in 52, so this was written before then. And we didn't do our first stuff about vocal analysis until 82. That was when we were first published. But this is right out of the second coming of Christ. A bad man may imitate the voice of a good person, but the evil in his heart will certainly vibrate in his pretending voice. And if any of you watched the debate, you certainly saw a pretending voice in Chris Wallace, the moderator, the supposed to be moderator. We really know what he wanted, what he meant, and what he was trying to do. And we will be publishing that because we truly believe that people's voice tell the truth, not their words, but their voice. And we hope that in the near future, everybody will be bioacoustically trained. People will be 100% well. I don't know what kind of world that's going to look like, or how people are going to die, or if we're going to end up with Soylent Green, where people go to be redistributed. And you watch that, it's a terrifying movie. Soylent Green, where they package humans that want to die into food for the rest of the people. Here's to an absolute optimal life for all of you. We hope we can support you through you want for yourself. And I just say later because I feel like you never say goodbye to family. So later, everyone. Online calendar is on soundhealthoptions.com.